Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at Uncanny X-Men number 130. Super exciting issue because it is the dramatic debut of the Dazzler. And either that just made you very excited or very, nauseous. Either way, it is where we are going today. Cannot wait to show it to you. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, this is so good for so many reasons. Let's start with this cover. Totally amazing. Now, some of you watching may think that this is John Byrne because he's the artist of the interiors. And why wouldn't it be? And it kind of looks like him, as inked by Terry Austin. The effect is kind of there. But this is future polarizing X-Men artist John Romita Jr. I love this cover. I think it's amazing. It seems appropriate because I believe that JR drew the first few issues, I don't know how many issues of Dazzler's series. And also, I think he had a hand in designing the character, who originally was supposed to be based on Grace Jones because of some deal Marvel Comics had with Casablanca Records. Crazy backstory about the Dazzler. Didn't turn out anything at all the way it was supposed to. Jim Shooter wanted her to be a big deal, so he made Chris Claremont and John Byrne debut her in the X-Men. I feel like probably less, but I know John Byrne, I think, hated Dazzler and thought she was silly, and of course based on Disco. You know, that kind of makes sense. I can see it. It kind of reminds me of, Vibe in the Detroit JLA, who was, a break dancer. And so it's 1979. I feel like, yeah, Disco's kind of on its way out. And at the time, especially since comics were planned way more in advance than they are now, a lot of times comic books based on things that were too trendy always came in a little bit too late to be relevant and kind of fell flat. And I think that might have been a little bit of the case with the Dazzler. Of course, I love her. I love Disco. I love the 70s. I love the 80s. I'm all in. I always loved the character. I think she's great. Anyway, we'll be covering more of her. I did do the Dazzler and Beast miniseries. Search if you need to. Oh, by the way, I forgot to point out, I loved, when the X-Men did fun things with the logo, when Phoenix was breaking it. And what it could be more fun than, disco lights, these globe lights, making it look sort of like disco Broadway marquee or something to that effect, but totally freaking amazing. I wonder if Tom Orzechowski did that, or if, they, did it in production, or I don't know who handled that, but come on. I need this poster. This is so amazing. I would love to see John Byrne actually recreate that. That would be major. Anyway, Dazzler, here we go, Tom Orzechowski. You're so freaking amazing. How beautiful is that? I'm sure that was all hand lettered, and that is just stunting. Okay. So we get this gorgeous splash page. So much going on, and I always have to give credit to Terry Austin. But speaking of credits, let's read the credits real quick. Chris Claremont, writer. John Byrne, penciler, co-plotter. Terry Austin, inker. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. Glenna Swain, colorist. Roger Stern, editor. Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. This is before Louise Simonson Jones was editor. Anyway. So I love John Byrne. Nothing can be said. I just can't say enough about how great he is. But I just really love Terry Austin's contribution to this too. And it is so good. I just love the way he does the stippling and the shadow here. And just the different textures he brings. You can automatically tell the street is wet. Which I think is funny because it's such a trope of Hollywood that at night all the streets are always wet. I think it looks better in film or something. Anyway, I just always loved this comic. And this was a major back issue for me. Paul Smith was pretty much my first X-Men artist. So Like, this was such a discovery. What? The guy who draws Fantastic Four and Alpha Flight drew X-Men too? Oh my god, so exciting. Anyway, I always love these panels. Like, it's so funny, like, to think of, you know, technology now. And, like, I mean, these look like, you know, TV screens and the split screen. But I love them, like, deciphering, like, Jean Grey, codename Phoenix, Scott Summers, blah, blah, blah. Like, showing who they are. And then, like, showing an example of them using their powers. Like, where did you get this footage? I always love the purifiers from the Hellfire Club's design. Like, the Hellfire Club is just awesome anyway, right? Kurt climbing the side of the building, the great storytelling of John Byrne. I love John Byrne's, like, ancillary characters are always just, like, so much fun and, like, interesting. You know, he creates such, like, great backgrounds and, like, I mean, look at these, like, S&M freaks. I mean, it's a club in New York in 1979. Interesting little thing to note here. This is full on the Joker. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make like a weird argument. Maybe I should do a side video for it. Could this be the first appearance of Harley Quinn? I mean, because John Byrne has said that this is the Joker, and he was kind of hoping Glynis would pick up on that and color him like do the lighting in the clubs to make it almost look like he had green hair, and that would have been epic. But of course, like, I feel like much easier to do now. Like, they would have been, like, worried about the lawyers back in the day for some reason. I guess anything goes. You can rip off whatever you want anymore. But, so it was not colored that way, but historically speaking, that is the Joker in an X-Men comic book by John Byrne. And I want that to be Harley Quinn. That could be Harley Quinn. Let's make that Harley Quinn. Love this. This is so old school, like, storytelling. Like, he's talking to the villain in the Hellfire Club, and it's Sebastian Shaw in shadow, but we don't know that yet. And come on, oh my god, all this complex little doohickery and digit buttons and stuff, and then Austin still giving you sort of the TV screen effect at the same time. Love it. I love the exterior of the Hellfire Club. That is so cool. It looks so ominous. Great coloring. Once again, the wet streets are prevalent. So great. I mean, this is in the middle of the, like, Hellfire storyline. Kitty Pryde was just introduced 2 issues ago. I mean, what a height in X-Men career. Not only Kitty Pryde, but the introduction of Emma Frost, Dazzler. I mean, craziness all abounding. Beautiful art, a major detail, just gorgeous. Love it. I love the flashback sequences. I love the comic book style storytelling devices, like the rounded edges of the panel to denote, like, a flashback. I love it. Storm's in this little cage, tripping balls. I'm so, I always just loved, like, in comic books, like, when they capture the people in the imaginative, like, cages or whatever. It's like, you full on psycho. Like, you're never getting out of jail. Like, you kept people in cages like birds. Like, you freaking Jeffrey Dahmer psycho. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Yet it was, you know, business as usual. I mean, although they're running around in S&M. I mean, this is so crazy and so great in such a good way. I mean, how could you not love and read this? I love this too. Kitty new to her powers, but still diving through the floor facing. And Storm, like, this is, I feel like I've said, like, maybe, I don't know, whatever. But Storm, like, that circle and her, that holds her 2-piece swimsuit design together. The gold hoop, she rips it out and she's like, here, it has Professor X's telephone number in it. Like, that is so high tech. Like, why doesn't it have a panic button or a communicator or something? Anyway, love this. What a great crowd shot. I mean, come on, John Byrne does draw an amazing Jean Grey and every member of the X-Men, and I just kind of loved, like, I mean, this is why the Dark Phoenix storyline is so great. You know, they built, it was a slow burn in a way. I mean, she's just at this club and suddenly, here comes Jason Wingard. to screw everything up and influence you, and then, oh my God, you're like making out with them and like whatever. I feel like Scott didn't have a strong enough reaction to that, but he's like, Scott, let me explain. He's like, no, Gene, Dazzler is about to appear. This announcer is so great. I love that. That is like so disco. This is fun. I love this issue so much. I mean, come on. This is such a classic, great panel here too. It is so amazing. Dazzler looks so cool. I love her. I know people, like, she's polarizing in a lot of ways. But I feel like people may or should have warmed up to her over the years, if they haven't. I mean, there's just, like, nothing better than, like, an action X-Men fight scene with them all, like, in full power. You know what's funny is, like, they always seemed, like, I feel like in a way, like, sometimes, the comic books are, I mean, to anyone, any comic book fan, but the reason the comic books are better than the films, as exciting as it is to see, and as good as the movies are, I will give them that. But, I don't know, it's like you have 2 hours or 4 hours, given, the range of movies these days, but to tell a story, and that isn't a lot of time to give us investment as we did back in the day when you're reading the same characters month after month, and watching them struggle, seeing them get their powers and train with their powers and misuse their powers, and I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And sometimes they seem a little too powerful in the movies. Like, I feel like there's a little bit more vulnerability in comics in a way. This is such a great panel. And part of the, call me Dazzler, darling. That's my name. That's what I do. I dazzle people. Have you ever wondered where your light powers came from? Nope. Well, is that not, like, why is she talking like Wolverine? That is so crazy and over the top. And the best there is what I do, and what I do is dazzle people. Shadazzle. Are you serious? I'm a mutant? Screw you, I'm going on the road. I'd be like, okay, you can be a singer, or you can fight for people who don't give a crap about you and persecute you. And become an X-Men. What would you rather do? Well, I guess I'd rather be a pop star. Anyway, such a great, one of the best panels in comic book history ever. Jason Wingard lighting a cigarette on the street with the X-Men driving past him, headlights on him, and the shadow shows that he's really a mastermind. Dun, dun, dun. And then we get a big Joker laugh to finish. That is the debut of the Dazzler kids. Was that not the most awesome thing you've ever seen in your entire life? Are you a Dazzler convert? I doubt it. But so much fun, right? Debut of the Dazzler. Hellfire Club. John Romita Jr. cover. Byrne art. Austin inks. Claremont writing. It's a good day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Share my content. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you more soon. Thanks.